Hey, just wanted to make a quick video on my 1987 Chevy Corvette Coupe. If you're out there, you're a young guy or gal, and maybe you're looking to get yourself into a car for car shows or just to have fun, a sports car, the C4 generation, the fourth generation 1985 to 1984 to 1996 Corvette is probably your best bet, and one of the least expensive pure American sports cars to get into. These are relatively inexpensive, and they're really a lot of fun to drive, and you can get parts very easily. So I highly recommend, if you're looking to get into the Corvette scene or our car show scene, you don't have really a lot of money, these are the way to go. I bought her almost 15 years ago off the original owner. And what's neat about the Corvettes is they're built Bowling Green, Kentucky, at the Corvette. There's a Corvette museum, and most Corvettes, you can, with your VIN number, you can get the original dealership window sticker and the assembly line numbered assembly line sheet. And you can get this through the Corvette Museum, the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. All you need is your VIN number. You can go on their website or give them a call and they'll tell you how to do it. And it's really a nice feature for your Corvette. It gives you a little background on where it came from, where it was, what delivery, what dealership it came from, and its options and so forth. And it looks great at car shows. I have this laminated by the museum, and I put it out, and this is basically how I display my Corvette at car shows. I have my checkered flags, and I use that as psychological warfare for the judges. They see the checkered flags and subconsciously they think winner. So I joke around with my friends with that. And I just do little fun things. C4 Corvette photo. I got a couple of General Motors model cars that I found at a flea market. I cleaned them up and painted them. I did a couple of little personalized things. Again, you can find there's so many aftermarket parts and original parts for these. There are a number of companies that sell Corvette parts that are readily available. But I put a couple little things on, little chrome features here and there to spruce up the engine bay. And over the course of 15 years, I've done a number of things. She's been a really good car overall, very dependable. I'm proud to say I've never broken down. I ran out of gas a couple of times, but other than that, she's been a very, very reliable Corvette. Recently, I had the suspension replaced, front and rear. I had polyurethane bushings put all around, which really gives it better. They're much more responsive than the regular plastics. And for those of you who know Corvettes, I switched out the Bilstein shocks, which were very stiff riding shocks, and I put the AC Delco Reactex, which were engineered for these cars, but they give you a little softer ride. And it's because I don't race her. I'm not a cornerer. I don't beat on her. She's a show car, but it is a much nicer ride. She's in really nice shape. I keep her pretty clean. I detail her myself. About 10 years ago, I had the wheels, the original wheels. I had them chrome plated. I got that through Eckler's Corvette, the Corvette supplier. I'm on my second set of tires. These are getting more and more difficult to find. I'm on my second roof. You know, these Targa roofs, they crack and they get crazed. They get little cracks. It's normal. I'm very blessed. She has great paint. The original owner had her repainted in the mid to late 90s, and he spent a good buck on the paint job. This is probably the best black car I've ever owned. The paint is a mile thick, it's a mile deep, There's absolutely no swirl marks at all in it. It's the best black car I've ever owned, hands down. And I put on this amazing blue pinstripe. It's a laser blue pinstripe. I put that on about 15 years ago, and it really contrasts off nicely with the Corvette, the black. And it actually gives the black, the car, it just gives it a blue sheen. So people like, it has like a blue, almost a blue shadow, and it really looks great. I get lots of compliments from people. I had the windows tinted 30%, nothing crazy. The back one was already tinted by the original owner. I recently had a tune-up last year, upgraded the ignition. Oil changes, very important every year. One thing I can't stress enough, I use conventional oil. I don't use synthetic on an older car, a car that's 30 years old. It's used to the regular conventional oil. I've heard that to switch right to synthetic, you can give you more problems than it's worth. So I just stick with a good quality conventional oil. I don't even use the synthetic blend. I just use the regular conventional oil, and that's fine. Got a K&N air filter in there, and I upgraded put a stainless steel aftermarket exhaust, and I put a crossover tube on the bottom that quiets down the resonance, that turbulence noise you get inside the car when you put these big dual exhausts on. So she purrs nicely. She's not too loud. She sounds really nice. Again, she's got great paint all around, and I've won dozens of trophies over the years. I recently just won second place in Long Beach Island, New Jersey. In the interior is all, I replaced pretty much everything except for the carpeting. Carpeting is in pretty good shape, so I didn't change it. Speaker covers are originals. In the front I changed the front doors, the inside, complete door panels, carpeting, cover, locks, switches, everything, all brand new. I did that a few years ago. Both sides. I replaced the seats. I went with original equipment, General Motors leather seats. They're very expensive, and you have a choice with those. The original Corvettes have the perforations, the little holes, and it took me a while to decide. Back and forth, because you had the option of getting the holes, the perforations, or plain leather, solid leather. I decided to go with the leather, plain leather, because the perforations by their nature weaken the leather. So it's basically you're putting holes in the leather, so they tend to rip. So I decided to go with the solid leather. I replaced all of the bulbs on the dash, the digital dash. All the console coverings are new, or when I say new, within 5 years, 4 years, 3 years. Steering wheel, about 5 years ago, new. I put a little carbon fiber shift knob. It makes her my own. Stereo, like most C4s, have been replaced. The Delco Bose systems are very expensive to fix. The speakers are very expensive. So the original owner took it out. He had a little Kenwood system. I upgraded this. I actually got this head unit on eBay from a fellow in England, and it was in a box. It was never put in his car. He bought it for his 92 Grand Am, but he just never put it in. And it's perfect because it's a din and a half. Has a CD on top and the head unit, and there's very little space. Like the other ones, you have to use the spacer. So it fits perfectly. It's a great stereo, and it almost looks like it was built for the car. It just looks perfect. So a number of little detail things to make her my own. The shift plate, console cover, again the seats, with sill plates. You're naturally going to go through mats. So I got good quality mats. Every few years you get a new one, new ones, because they just they wear. But she's in really nice shape. She's not perfect, but she's in really nice shape. I replaced myself the complete weather stripping around the door frames and the roof, both sides along the top. I don't take the roof off often. Most of the time I do have the time to enjoy the car. It's to take it to shows, and I usually have the back filled with stuff. So, and I don't like to leave the roof at home. So I just keep it on. I don't. I do occasionally, but again. Over the course of years, I had made lots of friends, go to the car shows together. And a few years ago, I came across a book. A company publishes a book every 10 years. It's called When Did It Start For You? It's done by Mid-America Motorworks. They're a Corvette supplier, and it's a hardcover book, so I decided to write them and include a photo. I gave them a story about my Corvette, and they emailed me back and they said that they liked my story and they're going to publish it. So here she is. This is the 2009 edition, so they'll be coming out with another one, I assume, next year. So I'll have to write them again, see if I can get her in there. But I basically submitted a photo and a story about my Corvette and how I came apart, why I love Corvettes and how I found the Corvette and why I bought the Corvette, and basically my story on why about my Corvette. It's a really neat book. I guess you can get it through Amazon, eBay, or Mid-America. So, again, this is really a lot of fun. The sheet, and this my Corvette was purchased at a company, a dealership in West Babylon, New York, Long Island, and it's still in business to this day. It's kind of neat. And this, again, it's the build sheet. The assembly line basically tells you all the options that your Corvette has. And it's a really neat edition. People always stop at car shows to read it, especially the price, the sticker shock, because today Corvettes are $70,000, $80,000, $100,000. So, but I remember back in the 80s how $32,000 was an awful lot of money. So, but lots of fun. So again, if you're looking to get into a Corvette, these are the best. These are the most inexpensive Corvettes to get into. The parts are very easy to get to. They're not that expensive to fix. And I recommend that if you are going to possibly look into buying one, try to get one with the lowest mileage or the most expensive, the most money you can afford, and try going to Corvette shows, because again, those Corvette shows, that's where you're going to get, you'll see there's always some Corvettes for sale, and generally people who own their Corvettes, who show them at shows, they tend to take better care of their car. You're gonna have a better chance of getting a good car, as opposed to somebody's daily driver who maybe is not taken care of. So again, great paint. It's lots of fun. She handles nicely, and she is pretty fast. A lot of mouths to feed. Those 8 cylinders, big tires. So if you have any questions, if you're looking to buy a Corvette, you have some questions, your first time Corvette connoisseur, you have some questions, please just ask me a question. I'll get right back to you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go Corvette.